Hi, this is Don on YouTube. This is the second video in the series on Fred Hoyle. In the first video, I was uh, I was explaining apocalypse of an ice age, uh, and when the meteorite strikes, there's a phenomena called diamond dust that envelopes the atmosphere so that the sunlight cannot get through, which basically would mean the end of all life on Earth, unless, of course, humans are stored up a food supply so that they could survive for about 10 years. Obviously, not everybody on the planet would be able to survive under that system. But this other book is concerned with evolution. Now, Hoyle is not against Darwinism as far as certain principles of Darwinism. Adaptation, I'm particularly thinking of that word. Once the new life form or whatever arrives on the planet, it adapts to our climate, our environment. It doesn't come fully adapted when it arrives. But here's the theory. The theory is that traditionally scientists have said evolution could not have come from space because of X-rays and other forms of energy that break the links in the DNA. So Hoyle kind of, this is another instance of there's a lot of material before he gets to the primary point that he's trying to make, is that this is kind of a spoiler alert. If you're going to be reading the book, you're not going to run into this until near the end. He's saying that the DNA, as it's traveling through space, keeps making itself. So even though the links break from the cosmic rays that are bombarding it, it constantly reconstitutes itself, and so it's able to survive through space, whereas other scientists have said, no, that's not possible. So I don't know how you can prove that. These theories of evolution are always kind of hard to come up with the concrete evidence that this is the way that this is so. But that's his theory, anyways. A theory of cosmic creationism. It's not totally proven. So his big thing in here, I noticed, I think there's a whole chapter on it. Let me check the table of contents. Insects from Space, chapter 8. That's kind of what he's using as proof. He's saying that there's nothing on Earth that would have generated or evolved insects. It had to come from somewhere else. I think his proof there is pretty good. I might be gullible, I'm not totally scientifically minded, but just reading that chapter, I was impressed with at least he could find something on the planet that would go along with his theory. Uh, the insects are so well adapted to this planet that they've been here for longer than anything else, and they'll be here long after everything else is gone. They just have adapted so well. You see all these species dying out, going extinct. Well, that's not the word, extinct. But the insects just go on and on. So, and the variety and everything. So, there is some basis for what he's saying. So, if you're going to look for at least some kind of proof, the insects are. He devotes a whole chapter to that subject. Some of the early chapters are pretty interesting too, where he's talking about hemoglobin. Like you hear this theory, like if you put all the elements in a bag or something and you shook it up, there's no way that they would all come together to produce life. But he's saying that's not really true. People say that a rock can't have life, or inanimate object. What am I trying to say here? If you had I think it was a bean plant he talks about, has all the elements that would make up hemoglobin. The color is red. So I'd have to look that up to get more details, but he's saying technically you've got all the elements or all the things you need to make hemoglobin in this one plant or whatever, but of course it's not hemoglobin, it's just a different arrangement. Anyways, there's some interesting stuff in this book. It's kind of a little bit over my head, but I kind of understood what he was saying. It's not that hard to follow. But be interesting to see any comments you might have. And maybe you've done more research on this topic. I'd be curious to see what other people think about Hoyle's theories. Thanks. Bye.